The Voyager is a satellite sent out by our species, estimated to be 19 trillion miles from our planet. It holds a golden record that plays the sounds of the earth, greetings in 55 languages, and music and photos, all meant to summarize us, humans. From an explanation of our DNA, to family portraits, to a mathematical equation as to where we are located in the universe, the Voyager is a message in a bottle sent off into space with a hope that another life will find us. How can we summarize our existence? This golden record holds no photo of war or love, suffering or tragedy. The Voyager stands as a metaphor of how insignificant we must be, an analogy of how we attempt to analyze ourselves but fail miserably. There can be no summary of a ghetto, of constitutions and democracy, of race and borders. How would one summarize the feeling of waking up in the morning with a night of dreaming crusted in the corner of our perspective? Summarize the life in a novel and you will find no paragraph of wisdom, no bookmark for the taste of sin on your front teeth. There can be no quick explanation for what it means to be human, to live in a body with your spirit orbiting one's truth. Summarize the structure of my foot and you will fail at knowing what I have stood for. Shortly explain how I breathe when you will have no answer as to what keeps me alive. Learn the language that I speak, but you cannot know what I have tasted on my tongue, what my lips have murmured silently in closets and bed sheets. Explain the five senses and you fail at the core of my chi and chakras. There can be no summary of what it means to live, to meet, to itch. How would one describe the feeling of a verge of tears, to be high, the taste of ginger, the sensation of a burnt roof of a mouth, peeling skin off in the summer, squinting from our sun? Tell me how to bullet point the smell after it rains, the sound of my aging mother. We are too complex for a record. For anything that a photo can capture, we are too many small things that math cannot explain in an equation. And they may answer our message in a bottle, and we will go on living just the same. Some things we must admit are not meant to be explained, but who will tell our story?
Come on.
Who will tell our story?
Come on.
Who will tell our story?
Who will tell our story?
Big brother love home. He loves Power Rangers like I do. Sings songs and is as silly as I am, he is my brother. The second cannon shot out of my militant mother and I love him. Love him like recess. Love him like grandma's candy bag. He's a sweet kid, caramel skinned boy with distorted echoes in his corneas. He tries to do everything I do. And sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes I hate him. Hate him like vegetables. Hate him like pinched cheeks and old people. But I'll show him he's a smart kid. The gentrified jawline, he'll need braces soon because life is force-feeding him a rocky childhood with a vigorous patch belt and sour patch fist. He's still a sweet kid with the pain like brain freeze or removed scabs, fear like the dark of the boogeyman. But I'll show him how to grip flashlights like lightsabers. Use the force to force nightmares out of his head. Little brother, I love you like freedom. And don't you dare forget it. Who will tell this story? Who will tell this story? Who will tell our story? This poem is called Walls.
People build walls for their own selfish protection. 4 6x4 cement structures built around our best interests at heart. They can be as cold as an ice box crying to melt, and I am no exception. I spent my whole life trying to be so happy that I didn't realize I was assisting those around me in finding sadness because at times I only think about myself. I keep those thoughts in that box. I never wanted to be opened. I never really wanted people to get to see because they would get to understand me a little better, and that scares me. It scares me because my mind goes straight to what they might think, that I'm bipolar, or that I must suffer from some sort of obsessive-compulsive disorder, so I build these walls around my heart so people won't be able to get into my mind. So they would never know that I'm all for freedom of speech, but sometimes I get scared of what people might say about me. Like how I've never been comfortable in a room filled with masculinity. It always reeked of moonshine and felt like my shortcomings, but that's who I always wanted to be because I hated being that boy that always hung with the girls, my walls. Though a lot of people know that I never throw away pennies because I know that someone out there is probably stricken and needs them. Those same pennies just sit and pile up because I never feel like giving to that someone who needs them, since I tell myself they're only going to spend it on alcohol anyway. Or because I decided to donate them to a worthy cause since it looks good. Those same pennies that I don't get to that homeless man on the corner that I walk right by, they pence in my pocket as I tell him, sorry, I don't have it, but God bless you. My causes are leaving a twisted effect. Like me wanting to fight for die for, but shaking my head at the genocide on my own block. These walls are suffocating me. They're coming to paint the same color as my heart is. That's why every time I say grace, I pray that those less fortunate than me can get the same meal that I have, and after my prayer is over, my good deed stops there. Because I only pray for people so they can pray for me in return. Usually, when I ask God for forgiveness, I go and commit the same sin again. All I want is to be held. Because my hand doesn't love me the way that I want to be loved. I'm still not comfortable in my own skin. I pray I just wonder why my mom didn't listen to everyone and get an abortion. Sometimes when I'm home, I feel like an outsider around my own family. That's when I was 17, I tried to kill myself to see if anybody would care. These walls are closing in on me. They're covered with paint, the same color as my heartlessness. And that's why sometimes I try to build these walls to see if they can protect me. My golden sleeve, but they cannot protect me as if I'm Midas, because my touch doesn't do anything but turn rose petals into ashes. It only smothers me with thick tarred air like my lungs are being hugged by the arms of a lynched nigga. I often pray on bloodshot knees for healing so much that I start to feel sick. And at the end of my prayer, my amen only burns the crease in my lips because I'm forced to realize that God has brought me through so much, but I still act ungrateful. I try to love with more than just my heart and think with more than just my mind, but I forget how. I just have to remember that these walls can come down one chip at a time.
Yeah.